into game number 3 of this best of 7 all kill. If you guys are watching the rebroadcast, I apologise that we just I accidentally recorded the music of that after that last game as well. So sorry that you just had to sit through a little bit of that. But otherwise, no worries at all. And now we're going into game number 3 between these two teams, DarkStar and APSC2-eStar. I was actually just looking at these guys' position in the league, and they're actually both sat at a 2-3 match scoreline. Depending on how last week's match went for them as well. In fact, this is last week's match, so and they both have 1 match outstanding. So yeah, exciting stuff. Shout out to whoever's updating the Liquipedia. Super Hoffman, woo, go you! Updating the Liquipedia with the players and stuff as we go. So thank you very much. It's very useful. Anyways, let's get ourselves into this game and set to see who's going to take the lead here. As things right now are all level at 1-1 between these two teams. So, in the upper right hand corner, we do have a yellow Protoss player from APSC2. It's going to be Valego. And we'll see if he can hold off whatever crazy roach bro tactics Vanter, our green Zerg player in the lower left hand corner from DarkStar, may come up with this time around. I'd be surprised if he did the same thing 2 games in a row. So, yeah, I'd be quite surprised if he did the same thing 2 games in a row. So we'll see what he does this time around. Expecting him to try to change things up a little bit here in this game. So yeah, guys, how is everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. JD2128 says, good luck APSC2 and eStar, need to go bye. Goodbye, thank you for tuning in, coming and checking out the stream. Again, guys, do let us know who you're supporting here tonight. We've had a couple of guys here cheering on a couple of guys. I know APSC2 eStar usually have a ton of Spanish fans here around the place when they play. So if you guys are in here and supporting APSC2 eStar, do let yourselves be heard. And this is basically Spain versus Sweden right now, because DarkStar, all Swedish team, APSC2 eStar, Spanish team, of course. So it's basically Spain versus Sweden. Which is better? You decide. So, I'm just currently waiting to see what's going to happen in this game. We actually already had an interesting move from Valego. He opened with a Forge first, so looking for his opponent to maybe be a little bit greedy and open hatchery first and go for a cannon rush. But that didn't happen. Excuse me, I keep getting short of breath because I need a cough. So yeah, he actually went pull first and he's gone into a hatchery afterwards. Hatchery on the low ground, so looking as though he will be taking a very fast third base against this. I mean, Vanter right now completely blind as to where his opponent is. He's coming and checked this natural, so now he's going to change his overall direction up to this way to try and find his opponent, but his opponent's actually cross map, which I think Vanter will be happy with. It gives him a lot of macro opportunities, which generally is better for the Zerg. There's not as many kind of timings you can hit as a Zerg player. I actually really like this map for Zerg. I'm kind of surprised Valego picked this to play PvZ on. You know, there's a lot of open space to get big concaves in the middle of the map. The 4th base is fairly far away, which makes it harder for the Protoss player to hold than the Zerg player, because the Zerg's going to have this all connected up by creep. So, I quite like the 4-4 Zerg player as well to take, and then a 5th base isn't that too far away either. So I'm intrigued as to what Valego might have planned here on this map to try and take down his opponent. And, of course, every match going to count here. Again, I said, both these teams, 2 wins, 3 losses right now in the league. And, with 2 wins and 3 losses, it's basically life or death in terms of playoffs, because basically if you win, the cutoff point for the playoffs is going to be 7 wins, 4 losses in matches. So if you think these guys are on 2-3 now, they've obviously got a lot of work to do to maybe make the playoffs, but you know, they've got a lot of work to do to maybe make the playoffs. But what is it that I'm trying to say? Like, you know, if they lose now, then they have to win every single remaining match instead of having a lifeline at some other point. So one of these teams, I would go as far as to say whoever loses here basically has their playoff hopes trashed. And you know, at the start of this season, APSC2 eStar were looking really strong to maybe make it into the playoffs. Then they had a couple of bad matches. I think they had 2 wins in the first 2 weeks, and then they went loss or something. Again, I didn't have time to set up all the statistics I set up for this match before we went live, so I'm not 100% sure. But DarkStar were a team that we probably never really were expecting to make it all the way to the playoffs, so I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean it as they're the team we're probably expecting to be kind of 8th, 9th, that sort of position in the league, because they're good, they've got a good set of players, but they're no My Insanity, they're no Vega Squadron of last season, or Cascade, you know, they don't have any Casses on the team, they don't have any Jachis, you know, they don't have any superstars, they have a very talented young squad. But no one who you'd say, that guy is going to just all-kill every team this season. So, you know, maybe 2 teams here that we're not really expecting to make the playoffs, but that doesn't mean it'd be sad to see either of their hopes trashed anyway. As I do see a Phoenix coming out of this Stargate, which has been chosen as the opener here for Vallejo, as he sits on 2 bases right now. As I play up on 3 bases with an Evolution Chamber on the way, it looks as though a single Evolution Chamber, I guess Carapace. He's taking a lot of gases right now. He's going up to 5 gases. There's a Roach one, so it looks as though he's going to just play Roach Hydra. Unless he's going to put something else down when that layer finishes. So we're yet to see what this is going to be. The upgrade on the Evolution Chamber will tell us quite a lot. Of course, missile attacks is going to be a definite something, and there it is. So that's our confirmation. Missile attacks coming in here. So he is just going to be playing Roach Hydra, or maybe just a Roach Bow style of play again. I mean, it's kind of similar to what he was doing in that last game. So we'll keep an eye. I mean, it's all lined up actually to start up speed, to start up level V constitution, and to have that finished at the same time as +1. It's all lined up here again, but still the possibility as well to go into some Hydralisks as well once that lair finishes. So everything's going to be answered when the lair finishes. There's the first couple of Phoenix coming across the map, going to start looking for a couple of places to do a little bit of damage. Spore Crawler's in position though, and they're going to get some free shots off there as Vallejo tries to move around to get a little bit of damage done, but not quite able to find anything. And for now, these Phoenix will just have to kind of sit back a little bit. Coming onto the edges of Creepier for just a second, he does pick off a drone, which looked as though it was on the way to make a 4th base. And Queen here is going to be able to help the Spore Crawler fend off these Phoenix. Only 2 workers picked off so far, not all so bad. Hydra Den and Infestation Pick coming up very quickly here, and he does click on both of these. So Vallejo sees exactly what Vanta's up to, and it's basically going to be a very, very fast hive timing, so that he can go straight into Roach Hydra Viper. And of course, Vallejo, his response to this is going to be to get Templar Archives done a little bit sooner than he usually would in the game, so he can get some feedbacks and shut down the abducts that are likely to come in from his opponent. So, having been scoured here, Vanta, he may very well change up his mind, but he will not. He will continue on with the lair. First 10 Hydralisks on the way, with Groove Spines coming up as well here. So again, he's just looking for a very strong, probably +2 missile attack timing, where he's going to have some Vipers coming out as well. He's going to have a big Roach Hydra army, and he's going to be looking to hit when there's only 2 free Colossi on the map, so you can just abduct them nice and easy. But again, it's all very easily dealt with a couple of Templar and some spot-on feedbacks to just shut down the energy on his opponent. So Vallejo is still just moving around with these Phoenix. Not really too much else to see on the map right now. I mean, Robobay has finished back at home. He started up his Colossus. We've got Twilight Council on the way, so we can see more upgrades coming out of our Protoss player as well. Fanta has been taking a 4th base too, but nothing extremely exciting per se, which has been happening so far. This Changeling will actually be left to live, as Hydras do get in range and do manage to pick off a single Phoenix here, so quick pick off. And unfortunately for Vallejo, that's a little bit of a shame there to lose a single Phoenix like that. Not the end of the world though, but you know, the more of these you can keep alive, the more annoying you can be with them, the more opportunities you can find to maybe come in here and pick off a couple of Hydras from behind. And that's what he's going to do right now. So he picks off another Hydra, but he's just going to get away with another Phoenix. So again, you know, the more of these he loses, the harder it's going to become to make little pick-offs like that and to get the most out of them. So he needs to try to keep these alive, as the 4th base now being saturated here for Vanta. First Viper's on the way, but there's the Templar Archives again. I mean, Vallejo, he knows the timing of this. He saw when the Infestation Pit was coming down. He knew when the Hive was going to be coming in. And he's just going to have some Templars out to feedback in plenty of time here in this game. As we do see this Roach Hydra. More Hydra than Roach, really, mostly just Hydras. Moving across the map, getting into an aggressive position. The Phoenix are going to walk straight into the Hydralisks and costing the life of one of the Phoenix, but on the plus side, at least he sees it coming across the map. As Vanta needs to be very careful right now. He's actually about to be maxed out on Roach Hydra Viper at 12-13 minutes. It's actually kind of insane as he's moving forward. He's looking for the pick off on the Templars here to get rid of the feedbacks. Phone overcharge already used as the first pylon does go down. See some Lings coming in, slow Lings just to reinforce this, and I mean, this is very much a composition of I have an army and I'm going to try and run with it right now. He's going into Aspire behind us to try and have something to fall back on. Vipers aren't even here yet, and these Colossi, they're just dishing out the damage. these Hydras and Roaches are actually slowly starting to close the gap. I mean, where are the Vipers? The Vipers haven't even been used in this game, and all the Colossi are going to go down. And this just seems as though it's been a very simple case of our Zerg player completely out-macroing our Pros player, because what did the Pros player do wrong? I mean, there are Vipers on the map, just they haven't even had to be used. Where are they? They're just coming across the map now. So he's killed all of the Colossi. He's killed the entire army without the use of the Hive Tech, which he's invested into. Like, what on earth? GG's called, and Vanta just like that. He just makes ZVP look ridiculously easy. What was that? He just absolutely destroys Vallejo. Like, completely. Like that wasn't really even close, was it? No. No is your answer. It wasn't. That was complete and utter decimation. Pascal 1p in the chat. Why doesn't he go Swarm Host? Well, I guess that's why. I mean, China Vipers timings are a thing. Some players just don't like playing Swarm Host, so they try and find other ways to make it work. It's quite hard to make work, and obviously he was then going to go into Mutalisks as his tech switch, or, you know, he could have just been getting corrupt just for Colossi, but I think Mutalisks were, as a tech switch, were pretty much what was going to be happening when we saw that Spire come down. Of course, it never got to that point in the game. He just won it. Not gonna lie to you, I have no idea why we're waiting, so here we are. It's going to be a ZVT. We're getting such a wonderful range of matchups today. We had a PVT to start, then a couple of PVZs, now a ZVT. Nice to see a range of matchups. No mirror matchups yet either, which is awesome. And yeah, here we go. So in the lower left-hand side of the map, or I say lower left, in the south side of the map, 6 o'clock position here, we do have the green DarkStar player who is doing all the work so far for DarkStar. Just earlier today, I was talking to the DarkStar manager, and I can't remember what exactly he said, but he said, I'm feeling very confident for next season because our players are on another level right now, on a level they've never been before. Vanta, Bloop, he said someone else as well, I'm sure. I'm actually going to check my Skype to see who he said. Where is it? Oh, he's right at the top. Magic. Yeah, Prospect, Bloop, Avocado, and Vanta. So pretty much naming the majority of his team. So you know, DarkStar manager feeling confident. In the upper right hand corner, we do have our blue term player from APSC2-eStar. It is Botfnik. So. Oh, I hate this cough. I will be so glad when it's gone. If you guys are looking for more SC2ITL action throughout the rest of the week here, as we don't have too much going on in this game, tomorrow we will be casting Team StarTale against All Authority. That's going to be at 5 PM my time, so 6 PM Central European time. So just wait, what time did I come home today? So yeah, about half an hour earlier than when we went live today. That'll be StarTale taking on yes, I'm getting myself mixed up now. StarTale taking on Thingy-Bobby-Bob Blob. StarTale versus against All Authority. That'll be tomorrow. I don't know if we've got a match after that. We might cast something from replays if nothing gets scheduled. So we will see. Bazooka, why are you rioting? Come on. Come on. Come on, that's not cool, man. It's not cool. Just because you're a sub, it doesn't mean you can just come in here and start the riots nowadays, okay? Alright? Okay. Good, I'm glad we got that clear. Alright, so this Reaper gonna start heading back home. And as this Reaper heads back home, he'll just be joining up with the incoming Hellions here soon in the game. We have got a few Marines on the way out because we have had this reactor come down just very early because it was just a singular Reaper. And of course this does allow a couple of things from Botfnik. It allows Botfnik to do a couple of different things, and one of them is to add on a very fast starport here, and maybe we could go for some kind of marine drop. We'll try and run the Hellions by. That was very popular for a little while. I guess it was about a month or so ago now that was kind of at its maximum popularity. So Rupert does jump up onto the high ground here, and we'll be moving past this natural, or not. We'll just be stopped by the Queens. Excuse me again. Oh my god, what's happening to my... I have no idea what's happening to me. So, we've got a second gas on the way, and there is the starport coming down also. So, definitely the possibility for Medevac to come out could also very simply just be, well, probably going to be a Cloak Banshee to follow it up, hence the second gas. Definitely a possibility, as the first medevac should start up right now, unless he's going to go straight into Cloak Shees, which I do feel is unlikely. This Reaper's still not able to find too much information from the main base of the Zerg player. If we check his vision, I mean, he's not really been in here since the start of the game. Second, third, and fourth gas all taken now for Vanta. Ooh, is he going to try and rush up to a lair? He's actually got a Roach-1 on the way. This Reaper sees a gas here, but that's not really going to mean too much. Armory on the way here, so we're going to see kind of a Hellbat Marine push. And this is going to be interesting to see how much damage it's going to be able to do. With Roaches on the way, though, I mean, as long as Vanta makes enough Roaches, he should be alright. He has skipped, yes, he's skipped Zergling speed, so I'm not too sure. This Reaper's going to go down. It doesn't really want to stay alive a little bit longer. He's seen the Roach Rowan building, so he knows Roaches are on the way. 6 Roaches already being made. Queen is going to be able to finish off this Reaper in the main base. First few Hellions sitting on the edge of the creep here. Third base is on the way for Vanta. You might very well have to cancel this, as the first Hellbats do morph in. Marines are being boosted over by the medevac. This is going to be one big attack just straight up the ram. Queens, Roaches, and everything are going to have to come together here. First few Marines are being picked up for free. And this is a pretty nice start to this attack and to this defense from Vanta. And Botvinnik will actually just have to fall back for now. Not going to be able to achieve all too much else here at this point in time. Some Hellbats now are morphing back into Hellions. And I think for now he's just going to have to fall back. Banshees are on the way. Drop loads up though. 4 Hellions are going to head in towards the main base. So this might catch Vanta a little bit off guard here. He doesn't have anything in his main to really defend. There's a Bane Nest and double Evolution Chamber is coming down, as well as Zergling Speed. Lair coming up as well. Roaches do greet this army in the middle of the map, but here are the Hellions in the mineral line. And this is where things get a little bit troublesome for Vanta. Already 7 drones going down. We're going to see about 12 to 13 drones in total, I would say. There's 13. Okay, we're going to see a little bit more than that. He's chasing. He's chasing. Here come the Roaches now, though. And these Hellions will get cleaned up. The medevac is still around, so Hellions will get away. And look at that. What a call. 12 to 13. It was 13. 13 drones fall. And maybe even some more as he comes over to drop on the third base. A couple of Roaches here turn this around quite quickly, though, without too much of an issue. Queen's left in the main base to deflect this medevac. Has a double engineering base coming up for our Terran player back at home. Stimpak on the way as well. First Banshee coming across the map to look to continue this harassment. Spire on the way here for Vanta, yet to start up his Air 1 run upgrades. But he's had a lot of gas from early in the game, so he should be okay to start them very shortly here. And as his first Banshee without Cloak, I always feel as though Banshees aren't ever really going to achieve all too much. I mean, a single kill here, but already, I mean, quarter health gone. You know, without Cloak, he can't really go anywhere without just being caught by Queens, really. Overseer on the way in towards the main base. He's going to scout out exactly what's going on. He's going to see all the timings of his opponent now. He's going to see that the starport's building a reactor. He's going to see the third command center time, which is nice to know. Medevac's trying to come back in towards the main base just as Roaches and Queens move away. So unfortunate. Okay, he spotted it, but the drones need to pull. Oh, the drones! 2 down already, and there's 3 and 4. And this is a little bit of a mistake here by Vanta. I mean, he saw it, but then he just didn't quite go fast enough. This Banshee's tried to come back in. No further kills, but more damage taken on. And 6 workers killed there. Which takes us up to, what, 19 throughout the game? 20 throughout the game with that Banshee kill as well. And, I mean, Vanta's still kind of okay, because he's just accounting for this. He's saying, you know, because it's not like he's lost 20 drones from the standard Hellions. Botvinnik did commit to this a little bit. He delayed his third command center. He delayed his upgrades. So right now, both players are even on upgrades. Both players have 3 bases. 4th base comes down for Vanta, halfway done. Just as the 3rd base is about to land for Botvinnik. So in general, I would say this is a pretty good position here for Vanta still. You know, he lost some drones, but this build from Botvinnik is designed to kill some drones. It's designed to do some damage. Bling Bling Muta on the way here from Vanta as a couple of Queens with an Overseer coming across to try and clean up this Banshee, but good control by Botvinnik is able. Good, not necessarily good control, but good awareness by Botvinnik, moves that away before it's going to be picked off here. Starting to mule up this 3rd base, as he's going to start protecting this as well with a couple of depots. Refinery coming down here as well, and a couple of SCVs continuing to move out also. 3 Nexuses, what the fuck am I thinking of Nexuses for? 3 medevacs above this army right now as the Marines are just going to keep on streaming out. Stimpak's finished, of course. Combat Shield's on the way. 1-1 finished. Can go into 2-2 as soon as he is ready to do so. It looks like he's selected to do that right now. Maybe. There we go. 2-2 on the way. Plus 1 vehicle weapons coming up here as well. Zerg's 2-2 shouldn't be too far away. I mean, he should be starting out pretty much as soon as he can. He's got more than enough money. I'm intrigued to see what exactly he's going to spend all of this money on. I would like to see some more Mutalisks coming in. I mean, his Mutalisk count is not scary at all right now. I've never seen a Terran army be afraid of 3 single Mutalisks. So yeah, I'd kind of like to see some more Mutalisks, maybe the next 1k gas even on them. Yeah, I don't know. But at the same time, he needs to get his 2-2 as well. He can't afford to fall too far behind in upgrades. So that's got to be something he keeps on the top of his mind while playing through this game. He just keeps moving backwards and forwards here. It's kind of starting to give me a little bit of a headache following these units. So let's get away from there. So yeah, Botvinnik, he's making he's actually going for, okay, he has some Hellbats familiar in the game. He is mostly making mines now though. I'm a 4 as well. Going into Infernal Pre-Igniter though, as he does take the tower. There's not really, it doesn't look like there's that much Terran army here really. And compared to what Vanta has, Vanta, I guess he doesn't have that much. Still confused about the 3 single Mutalisks and no more. It's going to be just an absolute mass of Ling and Bane. So yeah, waiting to see how he's going to take this fight. And Chinshin does see the army begin to move forward a little bit. He doesn't really want to go too far off of his creep, but he's actually going to go for it. He's got a pretty sick angle here, pretty sick spread. First 2 mines don't do too much at all. The units are now going to start pulling backwards here, starting to get some splits off. This is off of creeps, so I mean these Balins roll in so slowly, and Vanta is not going to have enough to push through here, or is he? It looks as though he just about will. Not much left over though, just a few roaches, but that might be all he needs. 4 gets picked up once again, reinforcements coming in, a couple of Balins can connect on these and make some major damage, and that's what's going to happen. Nope, looks like they got targeted down. So no, there's one stuck behind the roaches, and that's going to turn around. I don't know where it's trying to go. It's trying to explode on this, that, and everything. More Lings coming across the map. Some Mutas coming in here as well now. Noticing the lack of Marines, this is the opportunity for Mutalisks to shine when there's no real anti-air out on the map. Some more Marines do come in, and another 4. So for now, Vanta will have to back off. I'd say that was an okay trade for him so far. He's got 1k, 1.3k in the bank yet left to spend. Once he spends that, he's going to be all good to go for another attack here. Botvinnik feels that was an okay attack for him though, because now he's going to begin counter-attacking. Vanta, he's not going to go onto the creep though, probably just use a scan to clean up the edge of the creep, if anything. He loads up a dropship here, and with this drop he's going to head around the left-hand side of the map, it would seem, try and get some more damage done. So, Medevac going to be moving around the left-hand side. The chat's going crazy for Vanta right now. Vanta confirmed OP. Confirmed machine. Vanta is love, Vanta is life, Vanta is God. Vanta is the love of the chat right now. Well, so he's about 20 supply up. It's about 20 supply up. 2-2 about to kick in for Zoe player. This is going to be his next big timing before 3-3 comes in for the Terran in about 2 minutes time. So if Vanta can fight in the next 2 minutes, that's great, because he's going to be fighting on equal upgrades. After that, he's going to be fighting the kind of classic Zerg struggle of being 2-2 against a 3-3 Terran player. Single Medevac comes into this natural right now. This Medevac hasn't moved too far. He's actually going to stim that into the 4th base now. So a little bit of damage being done here. Some drones starting to go down. There's 3, 4, 5 drones killed. Medevac's going to pick up and save there. But workers going down over on this side of the map as well. Some more workers going down. 10, 11 workers killed in total now. A Mutalisk goes down as well. And this Medevac does save these Marines also. So coming back in here to the natural now. Botvinnik is buying himself time, which is what he wants to do. He isn't interested in moving out. He's not interested in taking a big army versus army fight. He doesn't want a major engagement at the moment. What he wants is his 3-3 to finish. Then he wants to be taking major engagements, but not before then. So for now, we're just going to wait and basically watch Vanta try and buy time. Another drop back in towards this 4th base. He's going to pick off 3 more drones here. 4 more if he was target firing. Medevac's not going to save the rest of these Marines. 5th base is up for Vanta, not yet utilising it though, as Botvinnik begins to move out, and I just can't help but feel he's moving out 1 minute too early. Because, I mean, why move out now when you've got extra upgrades coming in about a minute? It doesn't make much sense. Vanta's maxed. He's probably happy to fight as soon as he can. Infestation pit on the way up for him here, so I mean, it's still a long way off. I mean, he's got to get Hive and then 3-3, so here we go. Vanta's just going to start streaming in. Well, he splits and thinks twice about it. He's not going to. Okay, now he's going to again. No, maybe not. Maybe. Oh, he is waiting for the next wave of Balin. So here we go. We're streaming in with everything right now. And let's see how much damage he can get done. The Balins going off on a bunch of stuff to the top side. In fact, look how many Balins are left on the bottom side. But the supplies are dropping fairly evenly. It's Botvinnik whose supplies dropped a little bit more drastically than Vanta's. A couple of medevacs getting cleaned up here. He's going to turn around with these mules and try and fight with some Zerglings to back him up on the ground. A single mine is not going to do anything here. And that is a hold for now. Why is my FPS so low, guys? Why is my FPS so low? What's happening? I've got something open, surely somewhere that's causing it to die. Oh, I don't know what it is with my FPS lately. All right, well, Vander's going to come up here. He's going to try and hit this 4th base. Planetary Fortress, though. I mean, a quick repair is going to make short work of this. This attack, and Vander turned away here. Still a fairly even game. What's the resources lost looking like? Whoa, look how badly Vander's been trading. He's been trading insanely inefficiently. But he's just had more economy through the game to be able to deal with that. Of course, as time goes on, I mean, that's generally not a good thing, because as time goes on, you're more likely to lose bases, you're more likely to run out of mining. And when that happens, you know, you take another fight like you have been doing, and all of a sudden it's the Terran player who is in a fantastic position. This one mine is not going to be able to burrow in time, so here we go, these Baners coming in. Oh, but he spots it in plenty of time here, and, well, not many workers going down here at all. We do have drop out on, oh no, it's not drop, it's just a single Marine. Single Marine coming in over here. So on target down, this Extractor. Gets cleaned up in a couple of seconds though, no real issues about that. Botfinick just sitting back. Hive now on the way for our Zerg plane. Infestation of course came up a long time ago, but he's just only now find the opportunity to go into that Hive. A lot of Zerglings here leading the charge. The Mutalisk count has really grown, up to 21 Mutalisks in total. Terran army to the left hand side, trying to pick off some creep. Small Baners beginning to morph in. A couple of medevacs there trailing behind the army. If the Mutalisks were on top of that, they would have been able to shut them down. That would have been a nice little pick off, shut down some of the medevacs in the sky. These medevacs are very damaged. A lot of them there ready for very easy pickings from the Mutalisks. And of course, killing off medevacs is always a great thing to do as a Zerg player when playing against a Terran. Limit drops, limit the healing onto the army. Question why my FPS is still so low. Yeah, so this army is moving up once again here, and Van is actually going to come straight in to greet this in the middle of the map. And well, he was on creep for a little while, now he is not, but it looks as though he might just have enough to crash on through here. He's got a lot of Mutalisks left over, and with a few more Baners and Zerglings still on the ground, he might just be able to take out these Marines. But with medevacs in the sky, it's hard, and he's actually lost a ton of Mutalisks there. From 21 Mutalisks down to 14, and that is not a good sign at all. And all of a sudden, you know, the momentum is in Botfinick's hands, and he's going to move forward. Scans will come down, and Vander's going to lose this creep, which he's actually done a great job protecting up until now in this game. Another scan comes down here, and more creep tuners getting cleaned up. The scan down to the left-hand side, and Vanta is going to be revealed that he has a 5th base. I mean, Vander still has okay economy, but so does the Terran player. He's on 4 bases himself. A 5th command center is up and ready to land. So, you know, he's going to have just as much economy as his Zerg opponent. So, it's very much coming down to one of these scenarios where it's going to be intriguing to see how exactly it's going to end up. So, I do feel Botfinick has the advantage right now. He's pushing through the middle of the map. He's got SCVs coming onto a 5th base now. He's cleaned up a fair amount of creep. Vanta working hard to get this put back in place, getting some queens up here. A few drones going down. Where's that? Okay, dropship over to this side. Doing a little bit of damage here. 4 workers killed, and a few Marines picking off some Zerglings also. As at the same time moves through the middle of the map and continues to clear up some more of this creep spread. Vanta looking good right now. As a single medevac picks up, he's going to begin dropping here onto the high ground and stimming forward, seeing what he can get done. Finished to 9, all of them are not 4th base at the moment, as it looks as though Vanta's maybe had enough of this. He's about to maybe just jump onto this army and to see what he can do. Is this me? Is this someone else? It's Botfinick. Oh, please don't say we have to restart this game. Not restart, but please don't say we have to recover the game. That would not be fun at all. That would not be fun at all. It really, really wouldn't. So, oh, we're back. Is Bodfnick doing anything? Okay, yes, he is playing. Okay, well, we're going to see an engagement come in here. Vanta's just going to leave onto this opportunity, and Bodfnick, is he going to be able to hold on? Well, he is going to lose the majority of his units, actually. He's killed off this 4th base, however, at the same time, the Mutalists should be going after these medevacs, and that they do. A few more picking up, and Vanta does start to chase these down, so he's picked off a few of those. He has now evened up the supplies. Plus 3 melee on the way for him, some more Mutalisks coming in here as well. Not going to find an opportunity to counterattack just yet. One more medevac does fall. As Drop is actually coming in towards this base as well. The medevac is spotted. He knows where it is. The Mutalisk should be right on top of this, chasing this down, stopping it before he can go anywhere. And I mean, the Mutalisks are on their way. Will they get there before the units can drop out? Okay, just about. And there we go. So, medevacs on the map cleaned up. 5 base against 5 base right now. Scanning the main reveals the lair, the hive, sorry. Ultras are beginning in the production tab. So, Vanta has found a way to get to the later stages of this game. Plus 3 melee again coming in here very soon for our top clear. He's plenty of gas, so he can start plus 3 carapace if he realizes he hasn't started it. Kindness plate on the way for now as well. Get that Ultralisk armor up. I'm just waiting to see what the next sort of move is looking to be here from either of these players. Botvinnik's maxed out, so maybe time for him to start looking for a fight here once again. You know, it's never a bad thing to just keep looking for fights. So there's definitely a possibility for him right now as these units try and run in towards this base. Not quite able to though. I'm gonna have to fall backwards. So yeah, Marine Marauder gonna come onto the edge of the creep here again. Another scan coming down. Is he ready to fight? Is Vanta ready to fight? I don't think so. Ultra has to be careful. He's being chased away. Thankfully, he is on creep. And oh, he's gonna come forward here. And he is on creep for a little while longer as these Balins are gonna connect before the majority of these Marines can really begin to split. And this has been a pretty good fight so far, I would say, for Vanta, as now he's gonna chase this all the way back. A single fall picked up in these medevacs. And these guys, they just keep taking the fights kind of just out of nowhere. Just all of a sudden, boom, fight, it's happening. As lifting up in a single medevac here once again. This medevac's going to be moving around over to the left-hand side of the map. And see what that's going to be able to do here as the Zerg army going to have to fall back. Need some more reinforcements again. 66 drones, 60 SCVs. Again, 5 base against 5 base currently. As Van is taking another extractor, but I mean, he really does not need gas. He needs minerals more than anything else right now. Botvinnik spots a new base coming up for his opponent, and he will begin to drop, I believe, to shut this down. He's actually going to fly it back just in case his opponent saw his medevac. So he's going to make sure to keep the medevac alive, and we'll try and come in and kill off this hatchery in a few moments' time. So these units flying around. Most of them, he did maybe see that medevac, and he is actually trying to hunt that down at the moment. Scanning once again, looking to clean out a little bit of creep. A couple of drones spotted here. And, well, the Ultras are going to lead the charge into this fight, and well, I don't think it's time. I think, yeah, wait for the rest of the units to come out. He's got a lot in production right now, just Vanta. I don't think he wants to force a fight before he really has to. Marine's going to stim in towards this base, but dealt with very quickly. Botvinnik just going to keep on scanning, keep on slowly cleaning out this creep spread. And Botvinnik will just have to play slowly still. This medevac is found to the top side, to the top left hand side. Another medevac boosting across creep right now. Botvinnik going to keep on coming across onto the creep, cleaning it out. The more creep he cleans out, the easier it becomes for him to maneuver around the map. The more attack pathways he opens up for himself. As this dropship is still just sitting above creep. Now it's going to boost in towards the natural. He could maybe kill off the Queen, kill off the Ultras cabin. And this extractor is going to be killed off here, so he loses the gas with 44 gas left here. Whoa, 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 there's been a huge fight. What on earth's happened? Oh, I'm so sorry, we've missed the big fight, and it looks as though it's actually the fight that lets Vanta break through. Botvinnik's just all of a sudden lost everything. No! How? How do I miss the biggest fight of the game? Oh no, we're coming up the ramp right now. The Ultras, this is a death trap for them though. And this is not the way Ultras should be engaging at all. From 6 Ultras to 3 to 2 very, very quickly here. And Vanta throws away every single Ultralisk in a matter of seconds. And from 150 supply to 120. What was he doing attacking up that ramp? Absolutely nonsensical there. As this medevac is trying to be cleaned up, this drop is trying to be cleaned up. And these medevac muters are going to chase it down, so medevac does go down here. But what was he doing? What was he fighting into that choke point for with Ultralisks? Oh, he was fighting up here with 6 Ultras? It's never going to work. There's so many other places he can go and be useful with Ultras. Clean out the SCVs here, or the base. You know, there's so many places he can go, and it could have been so useful to have them Ultras there. Up the natural ramp is the last place you really want to be going, and, well, you just pay for it a little bit. He has lost his Ultra Cannon, he has lost his Spire as well, out of this natural, and his Bane Nest. All 3 of those are going to have to be remade now. That drop turned out to be very, very useful. The single command center coming across here, trying to land this. Right on the edge of the Zerg creep, though. Zerg player is going to jump on the opportunity to fight. He just can't make Banelings, though. I mean, without Banelings, he's got no splash damage. I mean, he's got Ultras, but how does he deal with the majority of the Marines? Van is just going to lose absolutely everything here. Without Banelings, it's a nonsensical fight to fight, and I feel as though Vanta was playing so well this game, but in the last 5 minutes, it doesn't feel like the same player at all. Like, I don't want to be harsh. I don't want to be a dick, but I mean, he's been trading well, he's been taking okayish fights. For the last 5 minutes, he's just made 2 huge mistakes, and now he finds himself 20 supply down, and I mean, he's fought back from a harder position than this before in this game. But, I mean, again, it just didn't need to be this way. It didn't need to be this way at all, so Vanta's going to move back here with his army. I guess he's going to try and just engage into this. I mean, he doesn't want the Terran player to establish this base because he feels it's going to be too hard to break. So he comes forward right now, but I mean, the 2 Ultras are very low on hit points. The Marines are just going to kill off most of the Banes before they connect. And, well, there's going to be a few Marines, a couple of Marauders, and the 4s left over here. And Vanta will be destroyed as he tries to fight in there. And, I mean, a couple of Marines move forward. They don't kill off a single thing. As now Botvinnik will surely realise the opportunity that lies before him to move forward and take an extreme advantage here in this game. Botvinnik is going to just move forward. He's just going to be able to just come up this round, kills off another Ultralisk. A really great pick off here. It's going to be a hatchery which is going down as well. And his 4s are just going to start taking that down. A couple of Marine Lings coming in, but he saves the 4s as well. Single Infested doesn't even have energy to do anything. 16 workers killed on this base. The base is going to fall down in a moment as well. And, well, some reinforcements come in. They kill off the Infested. They're going to kill off the Queens as well. They're trying to transfuse themselves to keep alive. But it doesn't really matter if he does or if he doesn't. He's lost this base as well. And Vanta. It was looking pretty okay for him. It was looking as though I missed the biggest fight of the game. And he goes to throw it away still. You win some, you lose some, and it's going to be APSC2-eStars who even up this best of 7 all-kill series. So we're going to be going into Game 5 with everything all tied up here, as Botvinnik is actually going to be cleaned up, but reinforcements come in. And I mean, again, reinforcements are just going to keep on coming until Vanta does just that and types out GG to give APSC2-eStar their 2nd map in this best of 7. So guys, I really want to know why my FPS is so shitty. I don't know. Anyways, what we're going to do, we're going to go take a quick commercial break. I'm going to make sure there's nothing running in the background on my computer so that my FPS may get a bit better. 37-minute game there. And guys, game number 5. We're going to go back into this best of 7 all-kill series into game number 5 right now. I'm going to have to do a bunch of stuff like quit Skype. So excuse the Skype sound in a quick moment or two. We need to close this. And close anything else that can be annoying and stuff. And give me bad FPS. So that should be it though. So we should be all good to go and introduce the players. I'm just waiting to get the opportunity to pause my stream as well. And we should be going in to the game. Well, as you can see, we're in the game. I'm just waiting for my stream to get out the fucking advert. Who gives a shit about this game? What is it? What is this game? What even is this game that this advert's for? Come on, no one cares. We want to get into TVT, but I can't start until I pause my stream because my FPS is being shit today. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes, okay, Project Spark. Wow. Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Wow. Cool. And pause. Awesome. Right, guys. So, welcome back to the SC2 Improved Team League Season 3. Here we are in a match between DarkStar and APSC2-eStar. And we're going to be starting into our 5th game right now. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player from eStars. It's Botvinnik. Been a little bit of a break since he just took down Vanta on merry-go-round as we had BattleNet issues. His opponent right now in the 9 o'clock position here on Catalina is going to be the green Terran player from Team DarkStar. It's Avocado. Alright, so pretty excited to see how this is going to go. I still have a bad cough. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Barracks are finishing up for both players. They've both got gases. Were they gas first? Yes, they were. So gas first for both these players means that factory is going to come up following the barracks' completion. Sorry for the little moment's silence there, guys. And yeah, so we're going to wait to see where these guys are going to go from here. Second gases are able to be taken if either of them want to do so. Hello, welcome back, JD2128. Didn't miss too much because of our BattleNet outage. And we actually have a Reaper on the way from both players. So gas first into factory, into Reaper to open up with after a single Marine. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Second gas being taken by both players as well. So far, mirror builds in this mirror matchup. Always exciting to see a TVT. You know, if we get any mirror matchup, I would rather it be a TVT than anything else, as both players are also now going to start by Hellion and Starport right on cue as an Avocado Reaper pops out of that Avocado barracks. And both their Reapers are going to avoid each other as they go in different directions. Avocado getting the look of the draw and going in the correct direction first, so more likely to get a little bit of a scout off here. Depends when the Hellion pops out, I guess. Okay, he's going to keep the Hellion at home anyway, so it's not going to be able to do too much with this Reaper anyways. Comes in now, sees a starport and stuff and factory, and he's just going to get out of there straight away. This Hellion is on the way back home, realizing that this is probably a similar build from his opponent to his own build. And he's got his own Hellion on top of his, back in his main base now, about to be joined by a second Hellion. This Reaper is at the back of the mineral line. It will now hop up. And I would imagine he would be able to tell that this is a very similar, the same build as his own after seeing the Reaper turn up at basically the same time as his own Reaper reached this base up here. So I think Botvinnik and Avocado have a pretty good read on each other, and I mean, they've both been into the base of each other now as well to see what's up. First differences in this game, however, Avocado going to be investing into some cloak action from the Banshee. A Viking going to come out first here for Botvinnik, but he will actually be landing this starport on Tech Lab as well, so he will be going into his own Banshees just a little bit later than his opponent. As this first Viking here moving across the map is spotted by this army of Avocado, which is moving forward. Can't really afford to run up here into this well-positioned group of Hellions. And surprised Botvinnik didn't try and give chase to that little army there after seeing what was up. Could even have maybe landed the Viking, get a little bit of free damage. Viking now on the way as well for Avocado, as we're actually going to see a Raven out of Botvinnik. So he's not going to bother with Cloak, he's not going to bother with the Banshee, he's just going to get a Raven. He's going to play a very defensive style here, where he's basically just going to say, look, I'm going to defend. If you can't do anything about, you know, if I just defend, you're basically stuck in a situation where, you know, you can't do anything. You know, if I just defend and defend well, I'm going to take a lead. He's got a fast command center here. Banshee comes in, picks off this first SCV, however, does stop now, which is a little bit of a mistake. Should keep on moving. That Raven does now pop out. And this Banshee spots the Raven straight away. He should be able to pick up some kills here. Going to use the Cloak anyway, despite the Raven being right next to him. And we'll pick up now 3 more work kills in the main. There's a 4th. And continues to move away. And in fact, the Viking trailing a little bit, allowing this Banshee to get a little bit of a head start on the escape. And may be able to just dart away if possible. And as you can see, he's pulling away from that Raven. So Banshee gets away, kind of fortunately. And a Raven on the way out for Avocado as well right now. And both of these players are going to be playing mech. So mech versus mech here in this TVT on Catalina. We could be in for a long one, guys. You could most definitely be in for a long one here today, as we know how mech goes. Mech generally means long games, especially mech versus mech. But some mech is quite interesting. You can hit timings just before if you build a slightly different composition to your opponent and stuff. Mech is quite cool actually. It's kind of unique, kind of weird. As Banshee comes back in towards the main base, it's greeted by a Viking immediately, but turns around as well, so no trouble there. And we'll stop just here to maybe look for a way in very shortly again. Raven and Viking for Botvinnik on the left hand side of the map. They're going to be greeted by a Raven and Viking of Avocado. And that Viking of Avocado actually going to stop giving chase here as well. Banshee not doing it too much. There's a few Hellions here for Avocado. I mean, both players are going into Infernal Pre-Igniter. No real differences here. I mean, actually Botvinnik is investing in more Vikings than his opponent, which is interesting and could, in the longer game, help him out. Air control is always going to be very important in mech versus mech. Be able to get that extra vision on the opponent's tanks, etc. As well as making air transitions a lot easier. You know, if you've already got the air advantage, you know, if there's going to be a air transition, then immediately you have an advantage as the game goes on. +1 vehicle weapons coming down though for Avocado, so he's actually going to be getting ahead on the upgrades as this group of Hellions is going to begin moving out here, see what they can get up to. And they're actually going to intercept the group of Hellions of his opponent, and then they kind of go around each other. Blue Flame is finished though for Botvinnik, and so Avocado is going to take some serious damage here as these Hellions now begin to play the splitting game. And it looks as though Botvinnik is going to be the clear victor here. Kills off every single one of those Hellions. And now Avocado has to pull back. He has to wall off. He has to get in his base and defend because he's actually in a little bit of trouble. Hellion's actually going to come up this ramp. It's not a wall off just yet. And Botvinnik is, well, he's going to actually land his own Vikings too. And he might possibly win the game with this. He's going to throw down an auto turret of his own here. A few auto turrets coming down. He's got more Vikings on the ground. And that's going to be that extra DPS which he really needs. A couple of SCVs coming forward here for Avocado to try and help out and repair. A couple of Hellions, though, still for his opponent, will really be helping out against this. And here we go. There's a tank on the high ground. That's really helping out Avocado in terms of holding on to this game right now. As finally these Vikings are going to decide to just lift up and get out of there. And feeling as though the damage has been done. 38 to 41 workers after all of this. 10 workers killed. Another Viking comes out and it is killed off immediately. This air control is so important right now for Botvinnik. I mean, until the 4 comes out, there's actually nothing. It's not worth Avocado making any more Vikings in this game. As again, these first tanks came in just in time, and look at this, dropping down with the Vikings, dropping in a turret as well. Look at the Vikings, they're just picking off worker after worker after worker, and 15 workers down now. What is even going on? What? We actually watch it. He's going to lift up. Wow, that was an insane move. Now he's actually almost 20 workers up because he's got Hellions into the natural as well. He gets one more shot off maybe. He does, and he kills off a couple more workers, including a real 27 workers killed by Botvinnik. He holds a 20 worker lead now in the game. And this is starting to look a little bit scary for our DarkStar player. And APSC2-eStar is looking as though they may very well be heading towards an advantage in a few moments' time in the overall series, because I mean, from this sort of advantage, I mean, 20 workers is nothing to be laughed at. You know, not by any stretch of the imagination is it something to be laughed at here. So Botvinnik is going to be feeling pretty good, I imagine. He's got a third command center finishing up as well. I mean, so does Avocado, but Botvinnik, because he's had map control, he's got his down here in position, ready to go. So things all looking good. As a couple of factories are coming down for Botvinnik. 3 factories here, already up. 2 more for Botvinnik 2. So he's pretty much just getting everything he needs to go onwards and upwards in this game. Still holding about 20 worker lead right now. Avocado is moving across the map. Vikings coming back into the main base here once again, and continuing to move forward here, taking off a couple of workers. Third base is protected here by Avocado, denying these Hellions from coming forward. The tank's going to get picked off. This Viking hit squad is doing so much. He's going to pick off a tech lab. What on earth are we watching here? Like, he's going to get a reactor now as well. Hellbats are coming in to try and help out, but a couple of auto turrets have been put down to help out as well, and I mean, now they just lift up and, well, goodbye a couple of medevacs. This game is absolutely crazy, and, I mean, well, we actually have this Hellbat drop coming in for Avocado as well. He's actually killed off a good amount of workers here. Excuse me. So he's going to be able to clean this up. 53 workers to 43, as these Vikings are actually going to pick off another tank. And this harassment continues, and I mean, Avocado just continues to fall further and further behind. Sorry for the slight lapse in casting. I've had an issue with an admin issue pop up, and I'm trying to sort it out for a different tournament. Vikings do land here, Avocado. So I mean, he has to keep landing these Vikings. He cannot afford to keep them up in the sky. But for Nick, yeah, I was about to say, he probably can land here. Abuse the lack of range of these Hellbats. Look at this! He's gonna take down a couple of Hellions. A Hellbat. He just keeps on doing damage. How many kills do some of these Vikings have? 9 kills? 9 kills? 4 kills and 2? These Vikings are absolute heroes right now. So, we do have the big army moving out in the middle of the map here for Botvinnik. And he will be looking to just move forward and just basically just move in. He's going to drop the Vikings into the main base here once again. And again, I mean, immediately we're going to have to see Avocado doing something to try and hold on to them, and also this. And okay, well, he's just surely going to die. There's so many tanks here for his opponent. The Vikings land for himself, but it's just not enough. Vikings are picking off his reactors and stuff again in the main base. And Avocado is just going to type out GG. And apologies, guys, for some pretty lackluster and dismal casting there in that game. So, let's just go straight into game number 6 here. As in the upper left-hand corner of the map, we do have the green Protoss player playing for Team DarkStar. It is Multi. Again, guys, I'm very sorry for any delays. Nothing we can do if Battle.net doesn't let us make the lobby. In the lower right-hand corner of the map, the blue Terran player from APSC2-eStar. It is Botvinnik. Alright, so let's see what's going to happen here in this game. Quite interested to see what's going to happen. Quite interested to see what these guys want to get up to. Quite intrigued to see how things will go in this TVP. We started the night with a TVP. We may end the night with a TVP depending on how this game goes. I mean, Multi, the last player out here for DarkStar. If he cannot do it, no one can. He has to win 2 in a row, of course, to clean up the series. The first game, if he wins this one, well, he can go into Deadwing for an ace match. Most likely against Wacker. But we'll see what happens from there. So, I'm very glad I'm not actually doing anything overly important at the Summer League tonight, because I would be so stressed out. More so than I am now, and can you imagine that? I can't. Alright, so we're waiting for this game to truly get going. I have a Reaper on the way for Botvinnik. Nothing too crazy to start things off with. Let me very quickly hit pause on my stream for FPS reasons. Excuse my coughing. It's at the point now, guys, where I'm probably not going to cast this game very well. And I'm not going to lie to you guys about it. You know, it's probably not going to go well at all. We've got Zealot already on the way across the map, and immediately here Multi is going to realise, I need a bunker. And that's exactly what, sorry, the Botvinnik's going to realise, I need a bunker. So he starts up a bunker, he's got a reactor on the way. Now this Zealot Mothership Core Stalker Rush is going to look to try and do some early damage, but with a bunker up, going to be hard to really get any of that done. Maybe you'll pick off an SCV or 2, but that'll be about it. The Reaper just waited to meet the Zealot here, halfway through the map. And we'll begin to get some free damage onto it. So free damage on the Zealot, and I mean the Zealot and Mothership, the Stalker and Mothership Core are on their way to come help this poor Zealot out, who is taking a lot of damage now. 78, 72, 66 health. 60, 54. Whoa, 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 whoa! Don't lose the Reaper. You need that. And 2 Marines do start up. I mean, bunker is finished up at home, so I mean, it's gonna be safe here for our Terran player. He's going to be able to hold on without too much of an issue. He's got his command center coming up on the high ground. He's just going to keep on adding on Marines here. He's on 100 gas as well, so factory will be coming up right now also. And Multi will see by looking up the ramp that there is a Reaper in that bunker. I believe he can still pick away at this supply depot if he wishes to do so. So we'll see if he does. If he is able to do that. With the mothership core giving him the high ground vision, and that is what he's going to be able to do. So maybe not with them Marines there though, and that does actually make it a little harder. He could go around the other side, which would be a little bit better for himself. Still just slowly picking away at supply depot here. Another Stalker is on the way across the map. He's expanding behind this too, and moving forward here. Botvinnik looking for a way to try and stop the Stalker from doing a little bit of extra damage and save himself from having to repair this depot back up. 2 Stalkers now though, as Bolty hits the pause button. You know, I've barely coughed all day, and now that I've started talking loads, it's just gone completely. So yeah, Botvinnik will hold on here, not too much of an issue. First mine on the way for him out of that factory starport on the way as well. So he'll be looking to do some counter-attack damage with a medevac here very shortly. Nothing too weird about that, as he's got a bunch of Marines up, and if he really wanted to, he could probably chase down this mothership core. Scan comes down to see what's up in the Protoss base. See, the second gas has only just been taken, so he doesn't really have anything to worry about here, apart from maybe a 4-gate. So he might just stay in his main base for a little while longer, but that will just about be all he will do. He doesn't need to add on any kind of extra defenses. He's actually just going to move down to his natural. He feels confident enough. He's got enough units. And he's also got a mine to back him up as well. It looks as though this mine's just going to wait in the main base, though, wait for the medevac to come out to pick him and his buddy up. Take them to the other side of the map to get some damage done in the Protoss base. So Botvinnik is going to land this orbital command center here at his natural expansion. He does begin mining, and the overall opening was okay for Multi, I would say. You know, he delays his robo facility by a long way by doing this, and that is definitely one of the biggest issues. It means his splash damage is going to be a lot later in the game than usual. And I'd say that is probably the biggest issue out of everything in this opening. I mean, his work count's okay. You know, he's got these early units, which are kind of nice for dealing with, you know, any aggression. I just feel as though the delay on the splash damage is going to be the one issue here that can really hurt him. So, stops up an observer, which is of course going to be very useful against the 2 mines, which are currently heading in towards his main base and a medevac. A bunch of Marines on the low ground will just be able to be dealt with by a thought and overcharge, I would imagine. Not going to take too much to, you know, to deal with these Marines. I mean, even the Stalkers at the moment doing a nice little bit here as the mines do pop in, and is Multi paying too much attention? Yes, he is. He doesn't see it at all. I'm not watching the natural because I'm watching it in the main base, and kaboom! 1 mine doesn't get a single kill because of the stupid gas bug. That's so broken. But the other mine gets 7, so the 1 mine here doing the work of 7 mines, I would say. As now Multi is adding on a single cannon in his mineral line. Now, how far away is this cannon from completion? It's 20 seconds away, so these mines are going to come off cooldown before that cannon finishes here. And that's going to be something Multi has to consider. Multi! Oh no, is he going to lose more workers? He is! Oh no, kaboom, kaboom again! And this time both mines picking up some kills. 9 kills and 1 kill. Not so bad here. Botvinnik with a great little bit of counter damage here. And he will take himself 4 workers up. 10 workers killed in total. 4 workers up though is great considering he's got mules as well. So he's going to start raking in the economy right now. Starport lifts up is going to look to land down on this reactor the factory is building. And Botvinnik is looking to get into a really strong mid game here. Stim, combat shields both on the way, plus 1 coming in here for him as well. Everything is looking quite good for Botvinnik, guys. As a single observer moves forward, and will probably be just sat here watching for a while if Botvinnik isn't going to realise that it's that. Of course, not easy to see the observer. I mean, you kind of, when you're moving around so fast on StarCraft, it's easier to see if you're zooming in. Some players, I remember Select was one of the players casters always used to point out, because he always used to play, and when he was moving around the map, he'd just go like this, and then you can see the observer so much more easily compared to if it's just zoomed out. But you can still see it. It looks as though that this single Marine's just heading out there, so it is visible. but it's of course very, very difficult to spot. Will he spot it here? I think he will, because he sat right under it. Okay, no, that's the second time he's clicked right under it, but he hasn't actually killed it off. So first two medevacts are out, and that's going to be a signal to head across the map. Do you remember that game? Was it Tasia versus Rain in... It was some WCS event. I'm sure it was Tasia versus Rain, and it was like... he killed like so many... I can't even remember how many observers it was, but he killed off so many observers. That was a sick game. I remember I didn't actually see the game live, but I had a bet on Tasia to win. And then Tasia absolutely destroyed Rain, and I was like, yes! And then I looked at like... it was all over Reddit, of course, like... Hey, guess what? Tasia killed 30 observers or something. That was insane. I went back and watched the VODs. I can't remember what event that was at. Pounds around the side of the map are slowly being cleaned up actually by, or just the single pound being cleaned up by a single marine. The first Terran push across the map here is starting to do a little bit of poking and prodding. Nothing too major though. And he is actually just going to lift up all of his units in front of an observer to into all of these medevacs. And he's now going to unload straight away again. So, this pylon may still go down here, as there's no real way for the Protoss army to come out and get there. Scan is going to be able to take down that poor observer. And now he will actually lift up, but there's so many observers out. 1, 2, 3 in a row here. There's one down here as well, and there's still one across the map. He's had 6 observers out at one time before that first one died. He really is loving the map vision right now. He's gone full pig baby here. As Botvinnik's just going to unload these medevacs. He's not going to worry about pushing too much further in right now. And I mean, he shouldn't, because the observers are giving his opponent very good vision. Extended thermal land's about to finish. Blink not too far away either for multi, as Botvinnik has a third base up and running. So every second this third base is up and running for the Terran player, you know, initially it's not so bad for the Pros player, but you can't let it go on for too long, as multi is taking a couple of gases. Wow, I was starting to think, why is he only taking gases now? He's actually got a hidden third base up to the upper right hand corner. But the scout for Botvinnik. Look at that, he scouts it. Just as all these probes have been kind of like transferred over by the... oh no, oh, the mothership core is just going to... It's going to be spotted, but he's not going to realise, he's just going to go straight over here. I mean, this is really bad. He's gonna maybe see these probes. He does see the probes. Botvinnik, if he's paying attention, they do get into the corner here. Does he see them? Okay, he sent a few units over here. He does have the mothership core here to recall. A few probes go down, but not many. So, but he will still lose the third base, and he has to be careful. There's only one closest in the army. The other one's actually very far back. And multi losing his third base. I mean, this is not a good start for him, right? I mean, not a good start to his mid game, which is already pretty delayed here. We're talking about Terran player who's been on this third base for a fair amount of time. You know, he's been on here a fair amount of time. Multi, 15 minutes in, he's just remaking his third base right now. So Botvinnik going to keep on extending an advantage here in this game. 1-1 on upgrades to both these players. Botvinnik, a slight mistake to forget his armory for so long. As Marines are chasing things around the map, or being chased by Zealots. Multi gets this third Nexus down now. And we'll just be looking to defend until you can get that up and running, until you can get a bit more army out. But as Botvinnik is basically maxed out right now, he's just going to go for it. He doesn't have that many Vikings. He scans, he only sees 2 Colossi. Third is about to pop out. You could probably make something happen here if he really wants to. And he is going to move forward. Some probes long distance mine, they're going to bite the dust. Oh no, and multi might just be in a little bit too much trouble here. These Marauders, I mean, there's just nothing for multi at all. The third base for the Terran player has just been up for way too long, and that's basically going to be it. The third base for multi's going to die again. He's going to have to pull his probes to try and hang on. There's just not going to be enough. Look at it all. Look at everything just die, and GG, well played is called. Botvinnik takes the victory and closes it out for his team. APSC2-eStars here, and I forgot to update the screen. There we go. And he takes it 4-2 for APSC2-eStar. Again, I said at the start, that pretty much dashes the hopes and dreams of DarkStar to maybe make the playoffs this season. Keeps them alive for APSC2-eStar, which is exciting. So that's going to be a team to keep your eyes out on if you're into the whole league thing, and you know, just keep an eye on how to go into this game. So to start things off, we're going to be introducing our blue Terran player in the upper left hand corner of the map from Team DarkStar. Ladies and gentlemen, to start things off for you today, it's Bloop. Now, it's been a long time since I casted any DarkStar games. I'm not going to lie, it has been a fair while. But I remember the last time I casted them, Bloop was always playing fantastically for them. This kid, he's just like sick. He's a sick Terran player. He brings out some important victories. I think last season against Max Flow play, I remember watching him play against Pal on Merry-Go-Round, and it was like he played some really sick TVP. So really excited to actually get to see him play again here today. He is Bloop in the upper left hand corner of the map. In the lower right hand corner we do have actually give me a very quick second here, because I'm sure I must have an APS. I guess it's not going to be up to date anyway, so let's just ignore that. Okay, in the lower right hand corner we do have from APSC2-eStar, the Spanish Protoss player. In the purple it is going to be Toxic here. And these guys spawning in on King Sejong Station. Intrigued to see where exactly these guys, how these guys are going to play out this game. One of the more standard maps, so expecting a more standard build. Already we see pretty standard builds with just a Reaper expand on the way out of Bloop, and just a single gas right now for Toxic as well. So both players just looking for early expansions in this game. As a single SCV does begin to move across here to get some scouting done, just as this probe is doing just around the same time. So excuse me while I time a minute and make sure everything is alive, okay, and running well. It looks as though it is. So excuse me for that, guys. I literally ran in the house, came downstairs, opened XSplit, ran upstairs, got a very small bowl of cereal, ran downstairs with my bowl of cereal, eating it on the way down. It's a little bit of a rush, to say the least. Hopefully it'll be worthwhile, and we'll see some good games. So we do have our first Reaper about to pop out here. We've got the SCV on the low ground, about to put down that command center as well. And everything looking pretty standard so far, again, from these two guys up until this point. We do have a Zealot, which is actually going to probably be cancelled here in a second. And there we have it, last minute cancel. And well, this SCV is still down here, but it shouldn't delay the Nexus for all too long. Oh, we just throw down an engineering base. So I mean, the thing is, there's not going to be that many hit points on it. I'm surprised he doesn't keep chasing with his probe to stop the engineering bay building as soon as possible. There's the Reaper coming in here, though, and Mothership Core about to come out. And I mean, the Mothership Core's going to make a decision. Does it go for the SCV or does it go for the Reaper? And I mean, it has to go for the Reaper, otherwise he's going to start losing probes. So this engineering bay is going to get all the way up in hit points, and this has been a little bit of a disaster here, actually, for Toxic. As Bloop is going to really be delaying this command Nexus of his opponent. He's already forced out a second gas, which clearly was not the initial intentions of our Protoss player. And I mean, Bloop runs in here with the Reaper. There's not really anything for him to see just yet, so he will just get away over to the right-hand side, and not all too much really being done here. So this engineering bay going to start being worked on by this Mothership Core. Twilight Council coming down here very quickly for our Protoss player. So Twilight Council and a couple of gateways coming in. I'm intrigued to see whether this is genuinely an all-in or whether it's just kind of gonna, or whether he's still gonna expand. So intrigued to see which way this is going to be going here. As 2 extra barracks are finishing up for Bloop back at home. He has got his command center finished up as well. He's got a bunker on the way at the front also. So everything getting set up for the kind of later stages of the game here, or the start of the mid game. But look at this, a scout comes in from this Reaper, and this is the whole problem with doing something like this. And oh, he just gets denied, but he doesn't. He sets through, and he sees the Twilight Council. He sees the 2 extra gateways, and the Reaper falls, but he got the information he needed to get, and he confirms here, extra gateways, Twilight Council, and that's going to be great for him. Still no natural expansion, because this engineering bay is still down here at the 6-minute mark. So this engineering bay really is, I mean, Bloop's basically confirming everything right now. I mean, if this isn't an all-in-ish attack from Toxic, he's going to be playing from very far behind, because it's going to be a very late Nexus. He's stacking up money right now. I kind of feel like he just wants to spend it on a bunch of stalkers, but of course he doesn't have a warp gate yet, so he has to wait a little while longer here. And well, we're going to see another some plates getting picked off here, another bunker being added on. Nothing in the main base just yet, so it is vulnerable to that blink in. Concussive shells and marauders starting up in production as well. I like to see that. I think, you know, he has identified very nicely here what is going on. So these stalkers are going to come down, and they're going to sit at the bottom of the ramp right now, and they might decide to come up here. Yes, they will. Okay, so on the way up, they're going to try do a little bit of damage, but not too much that can really be done just yet, as we're going to be waiting for the rest of the stalkers to start warping in, backing this up, waiting for Blink to finish and seeing the Blinks in towards the main base. But Bloop looks well prepared. He's got 2 Marauders, 3 Marines. I'd like to see just a single bunker here, just to make him that little bit safer, and there we have it, bunker on the way up. And this bunker pretty much makes him safe from any kind of blink in. He's safe at the front. He's got 2 bunkers there. the bunker's not finished just yet, so there's a little bit of an opportunity right now. Stimpack only just starting up, so that's going to be 3 minutes or so away right now. As these Stalkers thinking about going in, but not just yet. That blink now just finished. 3 more Stalkers warp in. He's going to wait for them before he moves forward. And he's going to move forward here. The natural, he doesn't quite know where he wants to go. He could blink in up here and move his way around the back of the mineral line if he wants to. He is actually going to come up and he's going to try and target down a single bunker. And not enough SCVs here to repair. Ooh, a little bit of indecision though. He was targeting the bunker, then he started to try pick off SCVs. He only got one. Pretty sure he only picked off one single SCV there though, so not too much of damage done just yet by a Protoss player. 2 Marauders in this bunker. Going to be very hard to break through that, especially as some SCVs are going to be pulled to deal with it. And I mean, back at home, we have just got a Nexus on the way here for Toxic, so he is just, you know, he's not all in with the, well, you know, it's, he was kind of all in with this. It's a very late Nexus being added on. Robo facilities now on the way, but I mean, the tech here is going to be so late compared to the rest of these guys. Scan comes down, he's going to identify just as the Nexus finishes, which is something. And again, these Stalkers do still have a possibility to blink in here and get behind the mineral line and pick off some SCVs. I think it's their best opportunity to do some damage, and that's exactly what they're going to do right now. Even if they pick off an engineer, it could be okay if he goes for a DarkStar and follow up, and there's no turrets up, and well, he's not quite going to get that, and loses a couple of Stalkers trying to be a little bit greedy, trying to grab it there. So Time Warp comes down, maybe not necessary, but not hurting him too much. Engineering base survives, DarkStar now does begin. And Toxic is looking for ways to continue on in this game and get some kind of advantage. He does take down one bunker at the front here, so finally getting some damage done. Has to move away as the rest of the army comes down the ramp though, but I mean, Stimpack's about to finish here, so I mean, the most troubling time for our Terran players has come and gone. You know, he's defended the initial push, and, you know, things only get worse for a Protoss player from this point. You know, things, they don't get better, I can tell you that much. You know, as a Protoss player, you don't think, oh brilliant, I'm now on 2 bases with no splash damage. This is only going to get better for me. Like, he hasn't done any damage. It was a big commitment early on, and again, Bloop just forced him into this because of the way in which he put down the engineering bay. It's so annoying, but you know, what else can he do? Marines coming out of the bunker now and moving forward just a little bit. A Marine or two maybe going down. No, not quite. Some units are stemming forward as well. And, well, needs to be careful here. Another Stalker blinking backwards. And these Stalkers just trying to trade as best they can. But, I mean, the starport's on the way. The first medevacs are going to be out here very shortly. A Dark Templar does warp in from that northern pylon. And you know what? There isn't actually any detection left back here at home for Bloop. So he's completely overlooked the fact that that there's a Twilight Council on the map, and that one follow-up is, or one comment saying for Protoss is, went behind Dark Shrine. It's exactly what we're seeing right now. The Stalkers disengaging in the middle of the map, but now picking off a couple of Marauders as well. A Dark Templar has been warped in towards the main base as well. One on the tech lab there, one on the mineral line, and so much damage being done by these DTs, so much so that it might actually just bring Toxic right back into this game. One scan comes down, one DT cleaned up. But we still have 2 of them working away in the main base here. Mineral line's still under attack. The whole Terran army has to just turn around because he's got no option of them to come back. 11, 12 workers have now been killed in total. And I mean, well, okay, now there's a turret in range and this DT does walk straight into that. So the DTs, I mean, there's actually another DT still down here on the natural mineral line. He's going to get one more worker killed here. We're up to 17 workers killed. And Bloop has just taken so much damage from a game he was in such a fantastic position in, to all of a sudden, Dark Templar, boom, GG. Not really GG just yet, but I mean, very, you know, it pretty much evens up the game. By the time Bloop catches up in SCVs, Toxic's going to have had plenty of, I mean, I don't even think it's even. I actually think Toxic is in pretty significant advantage. 18 workers ahead. You know, now he's got Colossi out, he's not in so much of a threat to this bio army either. He's still got these Stalkers to kind of be aggressive to see anything coming across the map, and with Blink as well, that's only going to make them more useful. He's starting up a 3rd base. There is actually nothing really going for Bloop here at all anymore. There's a single SCV getting picked off there. These Stalkers, if they wanted to, they could use the Observer to jump up into this main, although they do have, there's some Zealots here which are just going to come in instead. They're going to drop off. The Warp Prism is actually going to go down. So Toxic loses the Warp Prism, but more workers will begin to fall here. And, I mean, again, the Terran army just has to turn around. He can't get across the map. He can't do anything. He can't force fights. He's not really even found himself a chance to start dropping. You know, the reactor was delayed on the medevac, on the starport, because of the Dark Templar that killed that off. And because of that, I mean, it's been the number of medevacs is actually only one. We've only got one medevac out. Medevac number 2 comes out now. Bloop's just taking so much damage. Another 7 workers killed takes us up to 28 in total throughout the game. 2 medevacs do load up, but I mean, look at this. Here comes the army across the map. Toxic, he's just going to go for a push because he probably identifies here, you know, he's been in the base enough times to see there is no Vikings. And if there's no Vikings, what's going to stop these Colossi from just, you know, pouring on damage from the back of the army? I mean, even if a couple of Vikings do come up now, Toxic has so many stalkers, he's got Blink with them too. He's going to have a lot of ways to deal with them. Double Forge on the way up for Toxic, so he's continuing to just tech up here, continuing to just have backup plans. This third base is one of them, but that's going to be picked off here shortly by Bloop. I don't think Toxic's going to mind all too much because, yeah, you know, you can take my third, but I'm going to break your natural. There's nothing here. There's nothing here at all, and the bunker flare goes down. A Blink Forge from these stalkers pick off a couple of units. And Bloop's actually kind of just stuck in his main base because he can't really afford to run down a ramp. SCV's going down, another 19 SCVs. This third base has been killed off. Some probes are beginning to fall over here. The natural command center will survive. There's nothing really here. Okay, we're going to see a recall. Ooh, interesting now. So he kills a ton of workers, 21 workers, and then just recalls. I mean, he could have probably just... he probably with a round of warpins. I guess he was supply blocked, and that was the issue, but yeah, his mothership cores on the other side of the map as well. Okay. I guess recalls is a smart option. He's going to move across the map once again now. Wow, and he's going to even run into this little group of units as well, and with that he picks off a few more units for free, and things just get worse and worse here for Bloop as he continues to come across the map here, Toxic. He's just going to look for a kill move, I think. I don't think he's going to... I mean, Bloop's on 16 SCVs, he doesn't have any economy anymore. Storm's on the way, if that's ever going to even be relevant here in this game, but here we go, the fight which is going to basically determine if Bloop can hold on or not. He loses a fair few of his units there, but Toxic will back off, wait for reinforcements before going again, just going to play us out nice and safely, not going to take any unnecessary risks. As, I mean, look at how much damage these Colossi do. The bio just gets cleaned up in a matter of seconds. GG called, and Bloop wastes no time at all in tapping out of this game, getting out of there, and giving APSC2 the 1-0 advantage here at the start of game number 2 between APSC2-eStar and Team DarkStar. Hello JD2128 in the chat, how are you doing? How is everyone else doing as well? Bazooka in here, hello. Super Hoffman in here as well, hello everyone. Yeah, so I was just saying in the chat, we're going to basically just see how tonight goes. There's only one match, I think, live. Then there is actually another match which starts in 25 minutes. So if this is very quick, we could actually jump into that match live. But, of course, that's not necessarily ideal. So we might do just a series from replays instead afterwards. Not 100% sure on exactly what we want to do just yet. I might just do a single match and then call it a day anyways, because I've been in uni since about 8:30. So, so yeah, I need to eat at some point, which is going to be wonderful when it comes around. Let's introduce our players here for game number 2 on Overgrowth. In the upper right hand corner, the purple Protoss player, he made things turn around with his Dark Templar there in game number 1. Can he do... well, will he get off to a better start here, I guess I should say, really, against his opponent this time? He is Toxic here in the upper right hand corner, our purple Protoss player. So, I mean, last game wasn't the best for him. He got Engineering Bay blocked, he was really forced into something which I really feel like he didn't really want to do. So, so yeah, here he is in the upper right hand corner. In the lower left hand corner, the green Zerg player from Team DarkStar. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Vanta. So, Vanta down here in the bottom left. Toxic up here in the upper right for PvZ here for our second game of the day, which is always some good stuff. PvZ been quite entertaining lately. Haven't been seeing quite as many swarm hosts, which is always going to be a good thing, right? You know, the less swarm hosts you see, the better, more or less, generally. I would say that there's probably a linear, or you know, I say linear. There's probably an exponential relationship between the enjoyment of viewing a particular game and the lack of swarm hosts in it. Something along those lines. Alright, so we're going to be a pretty slow start here. We had a pool and hatchery for our Zerg player. We've had a double gas opening for our Protoss player, but only 2 and 1 workers in there. It's just going to be a gateway expand. He gets the single zealot out here initially, so you know he's going to be taking an expansion. He's actually not going to be aggressive with the zealot at all. He's just getting out for safety's sake, it would seem. So yeah, he's just getting his zealot out. Going to work away on these bricks on the lower ground. Nexus coming up on the lower ground as well, and in general, things looking pretty standard here for Toxic at the beginning of game number 2, and you know, for Vanta as well. So pretty slow start here, not seeing anything too exciting happening. Shout out to Jesus9A who's hit the follow button on Twitch already, our first follower of the day. Thank you very much for your support. And excuse me guys, I'm still a little bit ill. I'm a lot better than I have been the last couple of days, but I'm still a little bit ill, so excuse the odd cough and sniffle. We have seen a single gateway added on here for Toxic, and I wonder if he's going to add on 2 more, if he's just going to actually throw down some text shortly. There's going to be another one, so there's going up to 3 gateways nice and quickly. You can add a Forge on from here if he wants to play a longer game. Otherwise his tech's going to come down very soon. We'll see what that's going to be. He could add on a 4th gateway of course as well and go very aggressive. Don't know how well that would work out against Vanta. I mean, he's been playing gases, but he takes gases at 5:30 or just beforehand, so you know, he's going to have speed up pretty soon as well. As our 2nd gateway does finish here, 3rd gateway still on the way, a couple of sentries on the way out. So Toxic building up the sentry count from very early on, and we'll see what he might be using them for later. I mean, you know, the sentries can be used for a lot of things, whether it's to just force field off and defend the 3rd base, or to force field off your opponent's army as you stomp through them with an immortal sentry all in. At this point, it doesn't really look like it's going to be any kind of immortal sentry all in. I mean, the robo facility is way too late, and he's just going to be throwing down a Forge here in the back. Well, not in the back, but in his main base. So Forge on the way. Looking as though this is going to be some form of macro-orientated play here from Toxic. Probably going to be looking to try and maybe take a 3rd base in the next... well, yeah, I'd say in the next, you know, 3rd base in what, say, yeah, next couple of minutes or so, maybe even 8-9 minutes. Isn't too crazy for 3rd base timing. He's going to have that Forge up so you can put the cannon and SimCity it, as we see pretty much every single Protoss player do nowadays when they take that 3rd base. And that's single Zerglin falling back home right now. There's a couple of free zealots who actually warp in here, so he is going to try and force a little bit of a cancel on this 3rd base. Something which right now Vanta isn't prepared for at all. He's got a few roaches on the way, and a few have just popped out, but are they going to be enough? Just a couple of roaches here. And with a mothership core, 3 zealots, and the ability to warp in 3 more zealots, this attack might do a little something here. I actually think he will be able to force a cancel on this 3rd base. It's going to be close. He's probably going to have to sacrifice these zealots here, and the first one is about to fall down, but he will get the cancel. Drone stays alive, so yes, we makes that straight away, but delaying the 3rd base just by a little while here. Whoa, also taking a base up to the top left as well. As Hallucinate Phoenix comes in and around for a bit of a scout, and he actually sees this base being taken too, so he sees a kind of mega greed out of his opponent, and taking this many hatcheries this early might just open Toxic's mind to some form of attack, although he is just going to be moving over and taking a 3rd base of his own. Go Toxic from JD2128 in the chat. Again, guys, do let us know who you're supporting here tonight. Let us know who you're cheering for. We do like to know who you guys are looking to see win, and so on, so on. Just do let us know. It's always a good thing. There's a couple of pylons going to finish up here, and there's this classic cannon in the middle as well. I'm going to wall this off with some gateways. So, I mean, 3rd base is on the way for Toxic. Both these guys just agreeing to a macro game at this point. Tyrelite Counselor's on the way to start +2 and Blink. Very standard way of holding on onto that 3rd base. And Robo Facility will be probably one of the next things we see coming out of Toxic here in the next few moments. Unless he's going to go kind of mega to 3 base all in Blink and go just straight up to kind of 11 gateways or something. And just go mass Stalker and try and win the game with that before the Zerg player is really ready for it. Roach Speed does just finish. Tunnel and Claws and Burrow now does start up, so that Robo Facility all of a sudden becomes ever so much more important than it has been prior to this point. And there is being dropped now in the production tab. So Robo Facility on the way. Get that Observer out. It's pretty important. Still opportunity to add on a ton of gateways and just kind of completely max out on Stalkers here and just go for the kind of massive... you know, one massive push basically. As Toxic is beginning to move out just a little bit here. He takes that tower for a couple of seconds. It looks as though we actually had some more zealots harassing over here. But Vanta moving back to deal with this pretty quickly, and he gets a couple of sentries there for his sentry and a Stalker or so, and another Stalker there. So he picks it away. He turns around that attack quite handily. You know, no real issue for him at all there. And Vanta will just... yeah, just hang back. He's still just making roaches. No sign of any other tech for him just yet. So there's another warping of zealots actually coming from this pylon over to the right hand side. So continuing to try and harass here. but not being quite so successful in doing so. So, yeah, Lucifer Phoenix into the main base again, trying to scout. I mean, still just mass roaches is a very, very weird way to try and play out a game. I mean, he's almost maxed out, but, well, if Toxic started making Immortals, I could kind of feel like he's going to be okay, but he started up a Dark Shrine, and, I mean, how much damage is the Dark Shrine going to do? Well, it could definitely do something. We see no detection in the third base as of yet. I mean, there is a lair, of course, so overseers can come in, but there's no static defenses here immediately. There must be an overseer somewhere on the map. There is, but it's with the army. As Toxic's just going to be able to force field here, keep himself alive for a little while longer, and now we have the round forces coming in, although we do have these roaches with burrow movement now, are going to begin moving forward, so I mean, he is going to try and make this work. He burrows again to get under this next set of force fields. Some more force fields coming down. Actually, all of a sudden, Toxic's in a lot of trouble. I kind of underestimated the power of this roach burrow. And Toxic just doesn't have any use to actually deal with this at the moment. And yeah, he is me being like, well, he's just massing roaches. I don't know how well that's going to be, but there you go. He literally just burrows under the force fields, takes down the third base, and Toxic just didn't even seem to have an opportunity there to do anything. He didn't have anywhere near enough army. And I think he just needed to commit into that robo facility a little bit sooner. I mean, he has Blink, he had +2, but no Immortals. It's not going to help you out that much. So, he's lost his third base. I mean, DTs are actually slowly working their way through this army. Spore codes have been started at all of the bases, I would imagine, right now, as the couple of Immortals which are in the natural are beginning to fall. And, well, a couple more Stalkers are going to go down here as well. So, well, the natural nexus is even going to fall. This DT is still trying to clean on up. There's actually an Overseer here, so if you wanted to, you can kill them off, and there they do go. The DTs to the Dark Tempers do begin to fall. GG called. And Vanta does even up this series. Well, I feel a little bit